Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to another weekly episode, another weekly offering of the Interconnected-ness, a weekly oracle series. I am the Memory Astrologer, and please remember to thumbs up this video. Send and share this video out. People make you feel good. People who continue to allow you to blossom and grow into the person that you are destined to be. All right, y'all. Send it with those groups, organizations, and people who you allow to continue growing and blossoming to the person, to the people that they are destined to be. All right, you all. Remember to turn on your ringer to subscribe. Turn on your ringer and subscribe, all right, y'all, so that you can hear when the messages are being dropped. All right, y'all. Please remember to come on over to the Playful platform of Patreon, on over to the Memory Astrologer side. There's solar eclipse, them notes is up. The lunar eclipse, them notes is being curated. All right, you all. Remember to come on up to the Playful platform of Patreon so you can be the first one to read these notes, so you can be aware, so we can stay aware, so we can move consciously. All right, you all. All right, you all. All right, you all. Remember, donations are welcome. Remember, they are in the Linktree link in the description box below. You can go to Amazon wishlist. You can go to Cash App. All right, you all. All right, you all. All right, you all. Remember to please do your 3 deep cleansing breaths. In from your nose and slowly out your mouth. To be open, to be aware, and to be ready for this weekly message. All right, you all. Let's get it. Okay, so last week, co-sign, I think they wanted me to use these cards and not the cards that we use, but you know, that's cool. That's okay, but we got the cards out. And why are these cards? Okay, so some things we can see, some things we can't see. Okay, I like this. Some things we can see, some things we can't see. You know, I like this is because, like, we're kind of sort of open to pick up the information, and now it's like, but where did these pieces really go? And I like this because curiosity is here. You feel me? Trusting the universe, trusting yourself, trusting the things that you've been through, trusting the experiences. Let's go. I love it. I really thought I did this the right way the first time, but I clearly didn't. I want us to be very mindful of our decisions, especially in our relationships, regarding our health, regarding our desires of fulfillment, regarding our needs, regarding our wants, regarding our ability to connect to other people. Let's really be open about that. Let's be aware of that. Let's use this consciousness to our benefit. Let's use our resources wisely, okay? All right, y'all. So hopefully we got everything. Hey. Okay. Yeah. There is like, okay, I have 2 things to say. First things first, you know, when you're carrying a whole lot, it makes me think of the 10 of spades. When you're carrying a whole lot, it's just like, oh my goodness, let something else come. You know, I'm gonna be really upset. Let's be mindful of that first aspect of the 10 of spades, but also the other aspect of, like, the awareness of all this maturity, the awareness of all these resources, the awareness of who you've grown into. You feel me? That's real leadership right there. And that's also being open to the miracles around us. To the miracles around us, that zero, that infinite possibilities that are around us. And know that some of these situations allow us to really, it's like a test, but it's to strengthen ourselves, to strengthen our ability to understand our own leadership and what a leader is supposed to look like. But really, it's really allowing us to trust ourselves and to trust the divine even more. This is really saying that we need to have a work-life balance. Work-life balance, not like, oh, I have so much to do, I'm going to do it at home. No. Not that. But it's more so like knowing that what you can and cannot do with the energy that you do have is using energy wisely. It's using your emotions wisely. It's being self-governing and having self-conscious realization of your needs, of your wants, of your desires, but of your own strengths. I don't want us to you know, see if you got the ability to add to your workload. And if you don't, you know, be honest about that. Be okay for that. Be honest about that. Be open about that. All right, y'all. Let's. Oh, the second message. With that, knowing there's a lot on you, the maturity, we understood that. Also know that when we do have this overload, but since we do have a lot of things that we're carrying, they might be seeming like burdens, but I want us to deeper dive, to go into the why we feel like they're burdens. What do you consider a burden? Did you not go through that experience and learn from that experience? And now you have a new outlook, a new perspective, a new reasoning and awareness upon life. But through these hard and challenges, obstacles, situations, lessons, through these new forms and experiences, we grow our understanding about ourselves and the outside world. Our antenna, girl, where's Mercury at? Where's Mercury? Where's Gemini? What's going on? Mars is actually in retrograde. So let's be open to the conversations, the many downloads that are being present and presented to us. Let's be open to understanding that curiosity, but also understanding it from a strategic mindset. Use the lessons and incorporate them into your life like a puzzle. How can you use what you went through to help you for where you're going? Or where you're going. Oh yeah, with that, because we have a lot of things on our plate, we are emotionally, not volatile, but emotionally reactive right now. And this is one of those instances where, like, let's not let the 10 of spades, you know, hurt us, you know, cause more experiences to happen, but let's use them to our benefit. So when a situation arises and our emotions arises, we need to pay attention to why our emotions arise from the situation. Where have you felt the situation like this? You feel me? Like, let's get to the deeper. Let's understand that from a different perspective. Let's go further. Let's dissect. Let's understand that more. Let's understand that more. Yeah. So let's be slow to react. Let's take slow steps before we react, before we engage a situation. Let's think about how we're going to engage. Let's think about how we're going to react emotionally, whether that is our eyes, whether that is our waves of communication, whether it is our body language. Whether that is our body language. Let's be open to that. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's get the weekly message. What is the weekly message? Okie dokie. So this one. Be really observant. This is our time period of being observant, observing ourselves, observing our behaviors, observing our habits, observing our engagements, observing our ideas and our thoughts. Yeah. Yes, reflection of the past. There's also systems. There's a need of strategic and strategizing systems, but also we're not seeing a way out of a situation because there is burdensome. But this is a moment for us to reflect, for us to take a step back. What are you currently needing? What are we currently needing in our systems? Is it more like nourishing systems? Is it more validating systems? Because here it needs to be like a redefining of values, of needs, of awarenesses, of maturity. Quick, yeah, that's what I was getting to. Wow. clarify the Six of Spades reverse? Interesting. It's just giving to me like repeating of situations until one realizes it. But also the needing of like constant movement. Can you clarify the Six of Spades reverse, please? Yep. Yeah, we have to take the first. We have to realize ourselves. We have to put the work in ourselves. Yeah, we have to build stable and solid foundations to ourselves and really ask ourselves, what does that look like? This is a really good time to review our goals, really good time to review our desires, our own pushes, and our own things that get us rolling, things that allow us to grow. To grow. I like this. It's a hesitancy in the body, a hesitancy in like the awareness or the integration of self into these newfound systems, into these newfound habits. And I feel like 666. It's really just reviewing our habits, and we need to really think about a nourishing habit daily. What's one thing that you can implement in your schedule every day to give nourishing recognition to yourself? What does that look like? What does that look like? Yeah. I like this a lot, actually. Yeah, it's about the redefining, recognizing one's own value. Yes, reverse. Yep. Absolutely. So I really want us to get some affirmations on this, because I truly feel like we need to consciously be aware of ourselves, be aware of our own needs, be aware of our own habits, be aware of our own routines and how they impact us. We need to implement more water. We need to implement more stretching. We need to, what have we been really eating? What have we been eating? Yeah, what have we been eating? Yeah, so that's something we need to move. It's just like a reconnection of body and mind. And reciprocity. Maybe we don't have reciprocity in like relationships. And this is a really good time to see what does reciprocity look like for us, and how can we be more nourishing of our own inner needs to build better foundations for ourselves the whole time. Because it's both jokers here, and one is sideways, and that's the black joker. And the black joker is just the growing the awareness of the situation, and the red joker is like the teacher of it. So maybe we weren't really open to the, I don't want to say the not the wonderness, the unlimitedness of the universe. And that was asking us, how can we be more in flow with that? How can we understand ourselves better? To understand the situations externally better. Yeah, back of the deck, dance. Look to the stars, yeah. That's really funny. That's really funny. Yeah, we need to be very mindful of our habits. Our habits. Because our habits can build our foundation. And we need to have strong and secure foundations, because we're growing. And when we're growing, we understand that our foundations change. And it's asking us, well, since we are growing into this new understanding, this new awareness, and since we have all these experiences, how can we use them to our benefit to build better for ourselves? All right, you all, look to the stars. This is a really good time to pay attention to how the outside world is communicating to us, but also how can we be better in flow and set better schedules for ourselves. All right, you all. So think about that. Eat better, make it better. We had the Six of Spades reversed, the Queen of Diamonds upright. We had the Four of Hearts, and we had the Joker, Joker sideways, black, and the Joker reverse. The oracle cards that we had is 31, look to the sky. So that is really, first things first, allowing or teaching us the ability to know that the outside world, the external world, can impact how we are feeling, but also telling us to be more mindful of how our feelings change, our energy levels change. To also be allowing us to be more mindful of just to be more regulated. How can we regulate ourselves better? How can we delve deeper to understand ourselves better, to move the way that we need to move, to also be in flow the way that we need to be in flow. So that's looking at dancing, it's looking at our own emotions. So how, when we move, how does that, how does those expressions allow our body to communicate? What does that communicate? When we move sometimes, how does our body, communicate? That was a healthcare checkup. And this kind of really just goes in with the Six of Spades, because the Six of Spades is like unresolved situations. So maybe this is something that we need to pay more attention to. Maybe this is a really good time for us to get a reading, a holistic reading. Maybe this is also a really good time for us to check in with our health. How have these experiences, how have our habits communicate with us? And how can we be better understanding of that? And maybe this is a really good time to just check in with ourselves, check in with our body, check in with our mind, check in with our environments. All right, check in with how we're really feeling. Check in with how we really engage in situations. All right, y'all. All right. First things first. The first things I want to tell us is that we are very important. That we are growing stable foundations. That we are supporting stable foundations. That we are open for the reciprocity of love. That we are amazing and strategic individuals. That we use our lessons wisely. That we are open to building and starting better foundations and better awarenesses to ourselves and to our needs. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so we're a little fixed in our mindset. All right, you all. Please remember, we are growing our mindset. We are growing our connections to our consciousness, connections to ourselves. But through that, we have to kind of go through a deepening and understanding of where do we get these thoughts from? Where do we get these ideas from? And are they still useful to us whole time? Are they still useful to us? All right, y'all. We have a couple cards that fell out. I'm going to read them. We're going to get out of here, right? The first card that was reversed, it says, I have the perfect living space. Wow, come on, Four of Hearts, come on. It says, I see myself living in a wonderful place. It fulfills all my needs and desires. It is in a beautiful location and at a price I can afford. Period. What does that look like? How can we prepare for that blessing? How can we be more open to that blessing? Okay. The next one upright, it says, I love my body. Wow. It says, I create peacefulness in my mind, and my body reflects this peacefulness as perfect health. How does our body communicate to us? How do we listen to that? How can we be more aware of that? This is really time for attunement of body, listening to body. When your body speaks to us, how can we be more open to that? When we're constantly going through these situations, know that we can have the control of how we engage, how much we engage. So how can we give the love, the nourishing, the re-nourishing that we need? How can we implement it within self? Drink more water. We need to think of better eating habits, better fulfilling relationships. What does that look like? What does that mean? Well, the Aries full moon notes are here, baby, all over the memory astrologer side. on over on the Playful platform or Patreon. All right, you all. It's a little workbook for us to understand ourselves better, to understand our accomplishments better. All right, you all. All right, you all. All right, you all. Let's keep going. It says, every thought I think is creating my future. Setting foundations. It says, the universe totally supports every thought I choose to think and believe. And I have unlimited choices about what I think. I choose balance, harmony, and peace, and I express it in my life. Period. Upright. Next card, upright. It says, I am flexible and flowing. I am open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. Period. And effortlessly. The card is reversed and it says, I am at peace. Interesting. It says, divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. How can we give that more nourishing love to ourselves? How can we show the reciprocity back to ourselves? It's reversed and it says, I express my creativity. My unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. Period. It's always in demand, sweetheart. And the last one, it says, I am safe. It's only change. I like how this one is the one that talks about change. It says, I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better all the time. All right, you all. There is a need to ground oneself. Grounding oneself, grounding oneself, grounding oneself. And I'm talking about like grounding as in doing deep breaths. Grounding as in doing visualization. So things that mindfulness videos, those are things that are really good. Also looking at your tummy, breathe in and breathe out. That'd be really good. Playing with moon sand, playing with anything to get your sensories involved. Those would be very beneficial this month. Those would be very beneficial until January 12th when Mars gets out of retrograde. All of these things will be very beneficial. And I say all this because just as I'm releasing this video today, Mars goes retrograde today. And I think that this is a very important time, a very influential time in the sky. So we need to be paying attention to and paying attention for so we can be moving and use the energy wisely, use our energy wisely. All right, you all. Also, this is a really good time to pay attention to our third eye. What is it showcasing to us? And also be mindful of how we are communicating that. Be mindful of how we are communicating in general, our tone, our diction, the words that we choose. All right, you all. And then also a couple things left. Our heart chakra is really, we are going through vulnerabilities. We're going through forgiving. We're going through surrendering. But that is allowing us to open our heart more, to be more compassionate, to be more discerning, to be more understanding, to be more loving, but to be more aware. To be more aware so we can love ourselves more, so we can love the environment more, but so we can consciously grow and evolve to the people that we are destined to be. Our solar plexus, so this is the movement. This is the connection to our body, our confidence, our ability to ground ourselves and to move up and understand ourselves, the ability to create, the ability to expand, the ability to use imagination. And then also Just be mindful of our root chakra, our connections to ourself, our connections to our body, our sexual understanding. Be mindful of how these things, how you are growing, and how we can bring these areas to balance. How we can incorporate them more to bring them into balance, to be more aware of them. All right, y'all. Let's see. The back of the deck says, I rejoice in my sexuality and in my own body. My body is perfect for me in this lifetime. I embrace with myself with love and compassion. I am at peace with my sexuality. All right, you all. I love you all so much. I love you all so much. Period. I love you all so much. All right, you all. Let's get in it and let's grow our understanding and our awareness to our minds. And let's be able to grow and to be masters of our mind, to be masters of our creativity, to be masters of our desires. All right, you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.